All right, well, hey, I'm gonna do some quick recording here. Figured I'd talk about some cool stuff I got in today. Um, so I got a shipment in that I found on eBay. Specifically, one of my kind of go-to sellers of train stuff is trains.com. They've got an eBay store, and that's usually where I find a bunch of pretty good deals on things. Well, right now they had like, I assume it might have come from an estate sale, pretty large one at that, but just like bulk, uh, like HO scale freight cars. And so I pulled the trigger on a couple sets of them, and boy, I'll tell you what, I got some pretty cool stuff in there. So I kind of wanted to show you what it all was that I had gotten out of it. Quite a bit of stuff. So let's start with, let's see, I've got a whole plethora of cabooses here. So let me grab those real quick, just to kind of, let's see. That one. Boop. This one. Boop. This one. Boop. I've got one over here. Now let me move this out of the way. Boom. So let's start with these cabooses that I got. These are pretty cool. So everything in these lots that I had purchased was actually hand weathered, and a lot of it's been like custom modified by the original owner. Unfortunately, I don't have any details on who it was, but I've got here some assorted cabooses. It's all Pennsylvania Railroad stuff. It's kind of like my go-to for a lot of things anyway. So these here, this is a Bowser N5C, I believe is the specific caboose. And you can see this has an aftermarket antenna system on it that became popular for the Pennsylvania Railroad kind of in the 1940s, I want to say. A lot of their stuff started getting equipped with radios, and it looked really cool. Unfortunately, you can kind of see some parts there are broken. It's not, I mean, it's noticeable, but it's like, if you're looking at it from far away, it's not that big of a deal. I had to re-glue some stuff over here because that had broken. I think one of the issues was these came from down south, which, very hot. And so I bet these were stored in a garage, so all the plastic components are quite brittle, unfortunately. And that tends to happen a lot with these HO scale models. If they're not stored right, they become brittle and they break, unfortunately. So, but anyway, I've got actually two of these. These are both Bowser. I think these are N5Cs. Unfortunately, this one's even worse for wear. You can see all of those little radio stanchions are broken. And then this whole end. Actually, these ends look fine. So that one's probably fixable. You can actually still get these kits. They're kind of rare, but you can find them. I actually ordered one. This is also a Bowser. Unfortunately, this one's in real bad shape. The entire end on this side completely exploded. All of the stanchions are gone. It's missing one end entirely for the railing and stuff like that. So this is also an N5, but I think it's a different version of the N5 caboose. And actually, if you look here, here's some initials. Let me see if I can't get that to... Come on. Come on. You turd. Alright, so it is JWD 2007. So I assume that whomever owned these, that's kind of the time frame they had them. But, so those are kind of the Bowsers. I thought those were pretty neat. I saw them in the pictures. I figured, hey, I'll grab them. If I need to fix them, I can fix them. Not that big of a deal. Kind of the highlight, though, in here is actually this. This is a Althers Platinum line, N6B, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not great about cabooses, but this thing is actually, these, you could find them between $50 to $70 in good shape. Obviously, this is custom weathered, but it's got all of the little metal, I don't know what you call those, like straps and handrails and whatnot. And yeah, all in all, this is a really good piece. I actually have 3 of these already, but they're unweathered. And that one, like, other than the weathering, is like in perfect shape. So that's pretty cool. Good find right there. For the whole lot, for the 2 different lots I picked up, I paid about $120 plus shipping. So 60 bucks per lot, and there's a lot of cars in the lot. That alone, like I said, is a pretty good pickup because these are about 50 to 100 bucks sometimes. I guess depends on where you're looking. So that made that whole lot worth it. And I think these Bowsers are pretty cool, just having all these detail bits on them. So like I said, I can fix all that. That's not something that's impossible to fix. This one might be a little too far gone. I can probably pull parts off of it and then just keep the shell around for, you know, spares or something. But yeah, those are the cabooses. I'm gonna go put these somewhere out of the way real quick. Gotta be careful with these. Like I said, they're quite fragile once they get like brittle like that. You just gotta be really careful. Now let's start with tanker cars. I got a couple of them here. So let's get these over here. Like I said, these lots kind of came in an assortment, and I can kind of tell you what most of these manufacturers are just based on the design. So these are the 3 tanker cars that came in this lot. Yeah, that's all 3 of them. Okay. So these first 2 here are actually just good old-fashioned Athearn blue boxes. I've actually got a couple of these already. But you can see all these have metal wheels, which is pretty cool. Or most of them. This one doesn't, but most of them do. And like I said, these are custom weathered. They look really convincing. One of these days I'll learn how to do that myself. It would be cool to have these with like a custom weathered locomotive to match. So these 2 are, like I said, Athearn blue box kits. And I think that this was an undecorated kit. You can just barely tell where they cut out the... I wish that my camera would automatically focus. I don't know. Anyway, you can kind of tell where they cut what do you call them? I'm having a brain fart here. Decals out and then put them on. So that's pretty cool that they whoever had this put a lot of effort into this. And like I said, they swapped all the wheels out, metal wheels. That's really cool. So really cool piece there. So like I said, those are Athearns. This one here is actually, I've got 2 of these in my collection as well. These are Proto 2000s. This one, like I said, seen some use. It's missing its handrail around it. This whole corner here is actually pretty scuffed. Holy crap, I wish my phone would automatically... Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah, maybe that'll work. So, yeah, so that's a Proto 2000. They've got really nice details. Let me grab a good condition one for you. Let me show you. Here we go. This one's in, like, mint condition. This is, like, nearly perfect. So this is what they look like when they're in mint condition here. Very nice, very highly detailed pieces. I love these Proto 2000s. All their locomotives and rolling stock are fantastic. It's also really heavy. Like it's heavier than these. Like it's heavier than that. So I think Proto 2000s are extremely nice. Put this one back real quick. For what you get. I mean, you can kind of find them for, I guess it depends on the condition, right? Because they sell them in kits, and if they're kits, they're kind of a tedious pain in the butt to assemble. Ask me how I know. But when you can buy them as like the ready-to-runs, you know, they're about 20 to 30, sometimes more, in that ballpark. And I think that if you're buying a ready-to-run, I think the Proto 2000s are really nice for the money. The kits, like I said, they're nice. It's just they're absolute pain in the ass to put together. I've put together a couple of them myself, and boy, don't recommend it unless you really are good with your hands. So those are the tanks. Like I said, got a couple of them in those packs. I'll put these back over here real fast, just so that way they're out of the way. Boy, it's hard putting this one on because it's all bungered up. Grab this one here. Okay. Let's see. So the other thing that kind of got a few of these in this setup is actually hopper cars. I got quite a few in here. So let me grab those next. I'll just kind of put them up over here. Boop. Hopper, 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 hopper. Okay. So pretty nice assortment here of hopper cars, various lengths, manufacturers. All of them are weathered, of course, very, very nicely weathered. Let's get this to kind of zoom out. Come on, phone. Work with me here. Work with me, damn it. There we go. So these are the hopper cars. I know a couple of the manufacturers of these as well. There's one that I'm not too sure about, but... So let's just start with this one here. So this is a Baltimore and Ohio. This is, I think, a very classic... let's see here. Pretty sure this is a Bachmann. Yeah, so this is a classic Bachmann kit. I guess not less a kit, more of a ready to run. But, you know, classic Bachmann, you know, they're everywhere. You can barely see it down there, but nicely weathered. I've got a couple B&O hoppers of this particular style in the collection already. Obviously not weathered, but, you know, in that style. So I thought that was a pretty cool pickup. Like I said, metal wheels. Really nice free rolling, so that's cool. Get that back over here, just out of the way. See, now I gotta weather all of my other Baltimore and Ohio hoppers to match. This here is a nickel plate road hopper, and I actually don't know who manufactured this one because there's no markings on the bottom of it, but it has a lot of really nice fine details. So like metal handrails, this little wire down here is metal, all this is little metal details. Unfortunately, a lot of these steps are broken. That happens. Part of me, I wonder if this was a Proto 2000 kit. I'm not quite sure though. If anyone happens to know what that is, I guess let me know. But it's a really nice kit. Looks great. I love the weathering on this, is really nice. I wonder if they did oil pastels and kind of brushed them down on there, because it looks just super run down. You know, it looks great. Like I said, I gotta learn how to do this. I'm not great at, like, I don't like committing. It's always a really hard thing for me to just commit to doing this. But I've got so much like rolling stock in my collection that I can afford to mess around and figure it out. So, like I said, I'll learn how to do it eventually because I like the way it looks. And then I'll figure out how to do it on locomotives and then be really mad at myself when I mess it up. But yeah, now this is a really cool, really nice piece. It's very heavy. You can put a load in there still, but it also has kind of like an imitation, like leftover bit down at the bottom. So really cool. Don't know if that's a Proto 2K. Like I said, I'm not sure what that's worth, but the Bachmanns are about $20, I think. So they're all kind of in that same ballpark. Here's an Athearn, just a classic. I forget what they call these types. It's like a steel body, like a 12 panel, I want to say. Or is it a 5 panel? I don't remember. But this is just a classic steel, you know, center flow. Because these actually open up on the bottom. Or at least they can open. Maybe these ones are glued shut, but there's a smiley face on there. Do you see that? I didn't even notice that. That's really funny. No, that's really cool. Like I said, custom detailed metal wheels. Not a lot to say. I love these. Like I said, I love these Athearn kits. They're always great kits. I did have to replace these couplers. They were broken. A lot of them were somehow. A lot of them were Katie's, but some of them were not, and they were broken. But easy enough to replace. I have a whole box of Katie's. So, but nice little pickup right there. Throw that onto the old layout, just sideways out of the way. Again, here's another, I believe this is also another Athearn kit. So this is just I think this is a 36 foot Or is it a 40 foot? It might be a 40 foot. I think this is either 36 or 40 foot. Just a 2-bay drop door gondola. Pretty cool. I think that the load does come out of this one because I think I had it out earlier and I put it back in. Now I'm not gonna be able to get it out, but or no, here's the other one. So this is a Southern. Like I said, nicely detailed, nicely weathered. I love these blue box kits. They're just so versatile. It doesn't take a lot to make them look good if you're really trying for it, and they just run out of the box anyway. So good pickup there. I think these blue box kits, you know. Oh shoot! I didn't even mention this. Yeah, so this actually has, these are Lindbergh metal sprung trucks. Look at that. I didn't even mention that. Some of them have these, and they're really cool. Lindbergh also made them in Delrin, and I have a bunch of those on some various pieces of freight. Really neat, because I don't think it actually does anything when you're running them, but it's just a cool little addition to have. I don't know. I have autism. Not really. So this is actually another one of these really high-end, this is a 2-bay, oop, there you go, that pops out. So, somebody put a lot of effort into building this, by the way, like, look at that. So, yeah, this is actually an AccuRail. These are really nice kits. These are what, AccuRail makes really nice stuff. Made in the US of A. You can barely see it there at the bottom, but yeah, AccuRail, 2-bay. I think this is a 30-footer. Maybe it's a 36. I'm not sure. Well, I know it's nice. It's got metal wheels. Those look like Proto 2000 metal wheels, actually. Anyway, metal wheels. Does this have sprung trucks? No, not non-sprung trucks, but still really cool. Looks good. I needed more Pennsylvania Railroad stuff anyway. So, I'm not sure what the AccuRails go for. 20 bucks. I think a lot of stuff tends to go for 20 bucks. Is like the ballpark for most high-end rolling stock. Alright, let's grab the last stuff that I had here. Were some flat cars and a gondola, and I'll just lump them all together. So. And one of these is actually really neat. You'll kind of guess which one's kind of neat. So, a couple, like I said, boom. All right. So we got here some flat cars and a gondola. We'll kind of start from the bottom. Zoom this back out a little. So this here, I believe, this is a Athearn blue box. It's a nice little ATSF flat car. I believe that's a 50-footer. I think that's a 50-foot, but yeah, just a nice, very weathered piece. I had to replace this because it broke off, but that's fine. I still have to do that on this one over here, but I got a box of them somewhere. Again, very nice, KDs. This does not have metal wheels, actually. But still, can't go wrong with blue boxes. Put that back over here. Boop. This, I think that this one here is actually, see, it's got this die-cast bottom part. I want to say this reminds me a lot of my, oh shit, I'm having a brain fart here. Oh crap. Let me see if I can spot a box shirt over here. Roundhouse. This reminds me of my Roundhouse 40-footer that I have. I wouldn't be shocked if this is a Roundhouse 40-footer. But this is the EJ and R. I don't actually know this particular railroad. EJ and E? Chicago Outer Belt. I'll have to look into that one. Never seen that before. Pretty cool looking piece. I have a Great Northern one that's also a 40-foot gondola. So, and it has a little load. Not the most realistic looking load in the world, but it looks fine. I think it's supposed to be pipes and like some pipe valves and whatnot. So pretty cool. And this does indeed have, no, does not have sprung trucks. It felt like it did. Here. But back over here. This is another blue box kit. This little, that's a 40-foot for sure. And this has like little wood stakes for the, like those are made out of wood. This one's broken, but that's pretty cool. Just adds some detail. It's done in the Pensy. So, yeah, no, can't go wrong with that. I gotta replace that brake wheel, but I've got a bunch of them, like I said earlier. And last, but not least, kind of actually more of an interesting one that I found in that setup is this Crown heavyweight. I think these are supposed to be 100-ton heavyweight flat cars. And this actually has this interesting articulating double bogey kind of deal. And that actually, yeah, very interesting. I think that these are metal wheels as well. Pretty sure. I think, no, maybe they aren't. I'm not quite sure. But it does have sprung trucks on all four. So that's an interesting setup. So sprung trucks on that. And then it has this kind of like concrete, I forget what you call these, but concrete loads. It's missing the brake wheels. But little handrail, like brass handrails. But this is made by Crown. And I want to say this is a precursor to Bachmann. Because these are made in Hong Kong. And that's where Bachmann's made. So it wouldn't shock me if this is like a Bachmann precursor. Because I do have a Bachmann flat car that's identical to this, but it has a, what do you call them, Buckeye trucks. Those are 6 axles. But pretty cool piece. I like the way it looks. It's just this big, awkward, lumbering piece of freight. And yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I had picked up in that fairly large set. I want to say that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like 16 pieces of rolling stock for 120 bucks. I think that that's a pretty good deal, especially like I said, those cabooses are pretty cool. Those are kind of the main things that caught my eye, but I think all of them being hand weathered and whatnot is a pretty cool addition. Now, like I said, it just makes me feel awkward not having a custom weathered locomotive in the collection to pull them all. But they'll look good. I can throw them in a siding somewhere once I get the layout kind of set up. And they'll look the part. But anyway, thanks for joining me on this really, really rambly and autistic video. I hope you enjoyed me waffling on about stupid stuff that no one cares about other than me.